This is the new iPad 10th generation. This iPad pretty much got a complete redesign from last year's model, and it brings the base model iPad just that much closer to the iPad Air and iPad Pro. There's a lot to talk about with this iPad, a lot of criticism surrounding it too, but today I wanted to step back and focus on my favorite thing about it, which probably isn't what you were expecting. It's the new keyboard case. Apple calls it the Magic Keyboard Folio. It's $249, and it's kind of like a hybrid between the Smart Keyboard Folio cases and the higher end Magic Keyboard case. And in my opinion, this is the best iPad keyboard Apple has made. But before diving in, I have to mention the one big downside to this case, which is compatibility. So this case is only going to work with the iPad 10th generation, so you can't use an iPad Air or Pro with this case. And likewise, you can't use this iPad 10th generation with this other Magic Keyboard case. That's only for the Air and the Pro. Sadly, there's no cross compatibility because of different magnets and connection points, which is a shame because this case is awesome and I would love to use it on my other iPads as well. But as for now, it's an iPad 10th gen exclusive accessory. So it might look pretty similar to the older Magic Keyboard case for the Air and the Pro, but there's actually a lot of differences. So it uses a two-piece design. So you have this back piece that just attaches magnetically to the back of the iPad, and it gives you this little kickstand to work with. And then of course the keyboard, which just attaches to the connector on the side of the iPad magnetically, and that also acts as the cover for the iPad. And this design works so well. One of my biggest complaints with this other Magic Keyboard is that you can't flip the keyboard behind the iPad to get the iPad to lie flat so that you can write on a flat surface. This case, on the other hand, makes that super easy. So check this out. I can just be typing out some notes here, and literally in 2 seconds, I can just flip the keyboard behind the iPad and I'm all set up and ready to write. And say you're on a rough surface or somewhere where you wouldn't want to place the keyboard flat on the ground, maybe a sandy surface, something like that, you can just pop the keyboard off and you still have that back panel protecting the iPad. It really gives the best of both worlds. And because the iPad doesn't hang over the keyboard like it did on this other Magic Keyboard case, this keyboard just has a lot more room to work with, and Apple took advantage of that by including a full row of function keys. So you have quick access to settings like brightness controls, media controls, volume. You can go to multitasking with the tap of a button, spotlight search. I mean, it's literally the same function row keys from a MacBook keyboard, but here on an iPad case. This adds a lot of quick functionality that I didn't even realize I was missing out on until I had it. And it finally makes it possible to have total input over the iPad through the keys and trackpad alone. Something that isn't possible on this other Magic Keyboard case because you still have to touch the screen for brightness controls, press the physical volume buttons, stuff like that. The trackpad, by the way, is also noticeably taller than this other one, which gives it about a 20% larger area based on my rough estimates. This doesn't make a huge difference, but it is slightly more comfortable and gives you a little bit more room for vertical scrolling through web pages. Now, the Magic Keyboard does have two advantages over the Magic Keyboard Folio, and those are a built-in USB-C port for pass-through charging and backlit keys. Those are nice premium features to have, although I have to say I still prefer the functionality of this case more. So if you were considering picking up one of the new 10th gen iPads and were looking for a great keyboard case to go along with it, you're in luck because this one is incredible. On the other hand, if you were shopping for an iPad Air or Pro and wanted that full row of function keys, a larger trackpad, and that easily detachable keyboard, that doesn't really exist at the moment. I don't know, maybe we'll see a similar model for those other iPads in the future, but for now, this is an awesome accessory on the iPad 10th gen. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.